Hi, welcome to the short tutorial on concept number 1 from the grade 7's Big Ideas about coordinates and design. You can see here that we have a grid. Just a reminder that the horizontal line of that grid is what we call the x, and the vertical is the y-axis. Now, when it comes time to label your grid, the middle or the origin is your 0. Now when you go to the right along the x-axis, those are all your positive numbers. So perhaps we want every line to represent 2. So we could go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on. The same thing if you go to the left, you need to make sure that each square is worth the same value, but now it's into the negative direction. So it becomes negative 2, negative 4, negative 6, negative 8, and so on. If you go up in the y direction, this is your positive, right? So this becomes 2, 4, 6, 8. And if you go down in y, these are your negatives. Negative 2, negative 4, negative 6, and so on. Now each coordinate we give a number, right? So we know which to refer to. It goes counterclockwise, starting in the positive quadrant. So this would be quadrant 1, right? And then we're into quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Right. Once you're feeling familiar with the basic setup of your quadrants, we can start labeling some points, right, or plotting some points. Now we talk about ordered pairs. So if I have an ordered pair, for example, of 4 and 8, right, we put them in brackets. The comma separates the x and the y plot. And if we go back to our graph, right, we go over to the 4 for x, right, so 1, 2, there's my x value down here, oops, sorry about that, and then our y coordinate is at 8, right, where those two lines meet, right, that's the point 4 and 8, right. Same thing holds true if you were to have negative numbers. So if we wanted to plot a point that was at negative 2 and negative 6, right, that's your x first, your y second, just like in the alphabet, x comes before y. So I go to negative 2 for the x and down to negative 6, right, and that's my spot, negative 2, negative 6. Right, perhaps we have one of each, right, perhaps there's a negative 8 and a positive 8, right, same thing, x, then y. You go over to the negative 8, up to the positive 8, and there's your spot, negative 8, 8. All right, so that's a quick review on coordinates and your x and y axis. Hope to help.